So let's imagine for a second that I lost everything. My knowledge, my experience, my followers, everything, my memory. Let's imagine, and I'm completely starting from scratch as a content creator. I don't have any followers, I have no brand deals, I have no portfolio, I have nothing. Just a phone, a blank Instagram page, a blank TikTok page, a blank LinkedIn page, a blank YouTube page, and a little voice in my head saying, Omobolaji, you've got something to say and you really should start. And I'm thinking about 2025. I'm thinking about the pressure I've gone through, the fact that we are in May, the constant algorithm shifts, the fear of being overlooked. And in the middle of that, I am holding my phone in one hand and I'm holding self-doubt in the other. That's where this episode starts, because if I had to do it all again, if I had to start fresh as a content creator in 2025, here's exactly what I would do. Now, this isn't theory, this is real life. This is the blueprint I wish I had when I first started out as a content creator. Hi guys, welcome back to the Social Media Manager Bible podcast. I am your lovely, beautiful host, Omobolaji Ajibare, and I am the social media ogre, and I'm all about teaching anyone who cares to listen how to use social media the right way. In this season of the Social Media Manager Bible podcast, this is the second season. It's under the umbrella of Creators Code, and my goal now is to help creators build income-driven content one post at a time. Like I said, this isn't going to be theory, this is going to be real life. Now, this is the blueprint I wish I had when I first started. If I was starting all over again as a content creator, the first thing I would do is I wouldn't chase a niche, I would chase a purpose. Because let's be honest, the moment you decide to become a content creator, the first question that hits you is, what's your niche? And if I was starting all over again, I wouldn't answer that question. Yes, I wouldn't. Not right away. Because chasing a niche too early will paralyze you. Let me say it again. Chasing a niche too early will paralyze you. You will overthink every single post. You will compare yourself to creators who have been at it for years, and you will forget why you started. Instead, if I was starting all over again, I would chase purpose. Why am I here? What experience do I have that someone else is currently living through? What version of me 2-3 years ago is praying for answers that I can give today? That is where I will start from. I will not start with aesthetics. I will not start with templates. I will start with purpose. And from that place of purpose, I will find my lane as a content creator. Not a boxed up niche, but a lane that actually gives me the permission to evolve. The next thing I will consider is the kind of content that I'd actually create. If you're just starting out in 2025 as a content creator, I need you to hear this. Content isn't about how pretty your feed or your timeline looks anymore. It is about how well you connect with your target audience. Here's the kind of content I would create. First of all would be foundational storytelling. If you know how to tell stories well, if you are someone that loves gist, you love telling stories, I will make 3 to 5 videos or 3 to 5 posts just introducing myself. I will not start with, oh, hi, I'm Bolaji and I'm a content creator, but I will start with real intros like, oh, here's how I ended up here. Here's the reason I never posted before. Here's what I wish someone told me before I started creating. I'm sure some of you are connecting the dots. Oh, this is why Bolaji did a carousel week where she did what I wish I knew in different topics. I will also teach from experience, not ego. I wouldn't wait till I have 10k followers to share what I know. I would teach what I have lived, even if it's just how I overcame camera shyness or how I posted 10 days in a row. People want to follow relatable. People don't want to follow perfect, because we're not perfect. Nobody is. I will create a mini series and have consistent formats. I will pick 1 to 2 content series to anchor my growth. Something like Day X of building my creator brand, or things I wish I knew as a beginner. And the goal of this is to give people a reason to come back and follow my journey. And this is where trust starts with your community. When people feel like they know you, they don't just know your tips, they will start to become loyal community members. My mindset would be my strategy. Now, let me tell you guys the truth. Most people quit before they see results, not because because their content is bad, but because their mindset couldn't carry the weight of consistency. And like I always say, consistency is not posting every single day. Consistency is posting when you say you're going to show up. So if I was starting in 2025, here is how I would think differently. I will be okay with posting to an empty room. If 3 people watched, I will still show up like it was 3,000 people that was watching. Yes, I would detach my worth from my reach and the numbers, because let me tell you the truth, the numbers would fluctuate. The algorithm would algorithm, but I wouldn't let that mess with my identity as a new content creator. I wouldn't do that. I would stop comparing my day 1 to someone else day 1,000, because imposter syndrome is the killer of many creative lives right now. That content creator you admire, they failed 50 times more than you've ever tried. I promise you, they have failed. Do you know how many trials I have to do to get a video like this? Do you know how many rounds of repeating the same scripts, the same line over and over again to get a video that actually works? That content creator, they failed 50, 100 times. I will remind myself as a content creator, a new one, my job is to plant seeds for the algorithm, not to force and harvest. I will plant seeds. I will also realize that consistency is what builds credibility, and credibility is what leads to community. The next thing I will also do is I will make sure that my tech stack is simple. One of the biggest myths about being a content creator or content creation in this age and time is that you need a ton of tools to be successful. Nope, they are very wrong. If I was starting in 2025, here's exactly what I would use. I will use my phone for content, voiceovers, stories, everything. I did not buy my camera until I hit 10,000 subscribers. Yes, I was filming for years with just my phone. I would use CapCut for editing my videos and also adding text. Yes, CapCut. Start with the free version. I'll use Canva Pro. I would recommend you subscribe to that for templates, thumbnails, carousel design. That's what I'll use Canva Pro for. I will use Notion for planning my content, storing my ideas, tracking my goal, and then I'll use Metricool for scheduling and checking my analytics. That's it. I will keep my toolkit light so that I can carry it and so that my creativity stays heavy. Woo! I sound like a preacher right now. But yeah, I will keep my toolkit light so my creativity stays heavy. And I wouldn't upgrade anything until I need to. Yes, I would let my consistency create the demand for better gear, not my insecurity. And I'm telling you this because learn from me, sometimes it's my insecurity that makes me buy some gears that I don't need. Yeah. So let your consistency create the demand for better gear, not your insecurity. Another thing I would do is I will build my community before I monetize. A lot of content creators now are monetizing before they actually build a community, and they be like, oh, I'm not selling, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because you've not built community, darling. I will build my community before I monetize. I know everybody wants to get paid, I get it, but if I was starting today, I will focus on building my community first. And here's what that will look like. I will reply to every comment like I am texting a friend. I still try to do it if the comments are not overwhelming. Can be really stressful at this point of my career, but I will reply to every comment like I am texting a friend. I will show up in my DMs with voice notes, have real conversation. I will spotlight my followers and my content even if I have only 4 or 5. Because I've come to realize that when you treat people like people, not just your audience members, they become loyal. And one thing you need to know is loyalty monetizes itself. One thing I see new content creators do is they quit because they are growing slowly. If I was starting out in 2025, here's how I'm going to handle slow growth. If I posted like maybe 10 videos and none of them did well, I wouldn't stop. I will go back, I will look at the analytics, and I'll ask myself these questions. Did I say something real? Was it clear? Did I package it in a way that makes people care? Then I would adjust it. I won't quit. I won't disappear for like 3 months. I would learn from my mistake because I will still make more. I will get those crickets, but I will still show up. Because when you're a beginner, Growth isn't just about the numbers, it is resilience. Realistically, here's what my first 6 months would look like as a new content creator if I was starting all over with the things I know in 2025. The first month, I will post 3 times a week. Yes, I can only do 3 times a week. Conveniently, don't try to do too much. I will focus on quality, not aesthetics. I will study content that works and I will start applying it. I will do a lot of research. Month 2 to month 3, I would build a mini series content. Yes, I will connect with creators in my niche. I will look for a lot of online communities that relate to what I'm doing, and I will join and comment daily. That's what I will do in month 2 and 3. Month 4 and 6, I will now start experimenting with collaborations. Maybe I will pitch to my first brand, even if it is unpaid, and I would make sure that I track my progress, even the small wins. What you will realize is by month 6, I will be more confident. I will be more self-aware, and I would have become more consistent as a content creator. That will be my true success metric, not followers, consistency. You think building a page is hard? Try being consistent. That's the hardest thing. So if I was starting out, here's what I'll tell the 2025 beginner me. If I could sit with this version of myself, of me who is just starting out, here's what I'll tell her. Omobolaji, you're not too late. You are not too small. Neither are you too boring. You're just early. And if you keep showing up, people will find you. The right people, they will connect with you. But they can't do that if you're hiding. So start messy, start afraid, but start. This episode felt like I was preaching, and I absolutely love it because I need to preach the truth about content creation. Now, if this episode helped you, pause for a second and share it with somebody that needs to hear this. Also, don't forget to take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at the social media Oga. Or better yet, send me a voice note on Instagram and tell me your biggest takeaway. I want to cheer you on for real. And if you are really just starting your content journey this year, I want you to always go back to this episode whenever you feel stuck, because this isn't just a podcast, it is your playbook. You're listening and watching the Social Media Manager Bible podcast. And this is your reminder that every expert started as a beginner who refused to give up. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.